Well, I literally have to. I feel like these videos. I gotta make these videos because I guess it helps me out because I could look at my face and see my own lips say exactly what I mean to express. Um, and this ongoing thing with these impressions, um, constantly distracting me, and then when I react, they 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 act like, I mean, after everything I say or react to, they they repeat what I said, and then replace it with something stupid. And over the course of years, if anything I express anyways, I mean, only if it has something to do with some noise world somewhere where something wants to antagonize you. They pretty much like reprogram all your vernacular, all your language, to where it doesn't even sound like what you would say. Uh, pretty much, I feel like everyone on this earth that's a good person, um, I think something wants to trick the gods. I'm gonna assume that, I mean, anyone that's a decent person or has a good heart or has potential to do great things in a wholesome way, and like cultivate um, cultivate a way to nurture it and be grateful and just thrive and shine and radiate within whatever it is an individual does with his own mind for his own self, not what an impression wants to do by coming into your head and pretending to be your consciousness and influence something and and regurgitate, because that's what it seems like. They regurgitate like my thoughts. I'll be thinking and something says, "Who are you talking to?" Or um, just whatever it is I'm doing. If I scratch my nose, um, something will say, like right before I scratch my nose or whatever, or itch my face. They'll be like, now, if you're listening and you're like totally down and aware of everything and are aware of whatever um, agreements that you may have, that or whatever, like if like something made an agreement pretending to be me or something, uh, I'm getting ready to scratch my nose for no apparent reason at all, and they'll say some shit like that. No, scratch your nose if you're down with that, or if you hear everything, and I don't. I'll just out of nowhere, I'm just doing something, and then I'll hear that shit, and then I'll try to hear again, and I pretty much, I mean, every fucking thing I do, like I'm like right before I blink, something will say, no, I'm getting ready to blink, and that's gonna mean this, or now I'm gonna close my eye, or like before I swallow, now I want you to swallow real good for me, okay? Like if I'm in cahoots with something, like, and at the same time, that thing or whatever it is that's doing that, trying to like make me a part of whatever the fuck, it's attacking me. It'll pretend like, I don't know who the fuck it asks. I don't know who the fuck it asks to attack me, but it must be acting like me or something, and it must have established a connection or a rapport with something for a long time without me knowing, because I'm just trying to defend myself, and these things just distract me, and the more I react, they just keep treating me like I'm some asshole that fucked my life up. I don't know if y'all get that, because if someone's acting like me in here and they want to like convince something that every motor skill I do is controlled by them, when I'm just naturally just being myself. And then at the same time, all my tears when I'm crying or whatever, they wear that. They wear that shit as if they're the ones fucking crying or whatever, or yelling or screaming. And then they tell something, well, get him away from me, get it away from me, and give it a hurt or some shit. And then my chest starts to hurt. But I've listened to other people going through this, and their heart and chest and stuff starts to hurt for different reasons. And there's another guy that just gets that shit for no reason either. They just start fucking his chest up and trying to give him heart attacks and all that. But in this case, they fucking something must have been in here and been talking to something, and then gave something else the wrong impression for maybe a long time, who knows. And then one day, I guess like 4 or 5 years ago, that impression that must have probably developed some rapport with another noise, as if it was me, must have just switched. It must have, because it's sad. It'll frustrate me when I do hear some things that lead up to a noise saying, hey, it'll act like it's talking to me, like to my name, like, hey, or I thought I told you to, hey man, what's going on? Why you said you wanted to, I thought, like, I don't know, like if the same thing, like if the thing that was fucking with my head was noticed by something else that thought it was in unison with my consciousness, which it wasn't. My shit must have been on mute throughout my life. But whatever if it thought that, it probably it probably like tried to give me advice, or like, look, this is what you, or whatever. But I never heard that. I'm assuming, and that it was talking to the piece of shit acting like me. And I think of this, man, and it's fucked up, because I hope that didn't happen, but that's the assumption based on these little parameters and roadblocks, and it seems like that impression that was probably pretending to be me kind of like just switched, like literally, like turned me into that person, that other impression, the one that's causing dissonance and being an asshole. And it seems as if the other impression that pretending to be me is still talking to that other impression, like as if they're both trying to eradicate or something, some shithead thing that's in here. And I'll hear little bits and pieces of shit where and I interject. I'm like, what the fuck? And these noises will say, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this chum or whatever, this basket case or this nuisance or something. And so it just seems like this other impression wants to keep pretending to be me, but it acts like a little fag, like a little bitch. I'm going through what I'm going through, and I ain't asking for no help, but this thing will fuck with me or whatever, and I'm assuming it pretends to be me and probably cries like a bitch, help, or some fucking, and all kinds of stupid shit. Or I'll look up at a fucking sign when I'm driving, and a noise will say, is that where you want me to meet you? Where do you want us to meet you? Like, I don't know what the fuck you fucking noises are talking about. or people will walk up to me or stand by me or whatever. And now, because of this shit, I'm assuming there's something going on. If someone's standing next to me or just standing there or quiet or just, who knows what could be going on? I don't know. And if there's something within us that invisibly like touches ant antennas and just does a quick, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I wouldn't know. And yeah, I'm just fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of these. I mean, everything whatever it is, they want to keep acting like they own my body, like as if they are me, I guess. And they constantly, whenever I'm aware of it, act like they're telling me what to do when it's things I'm about to do anyways, or whatever. And these things act like, one of them acts like it's jealous, like, oh, I'm not even doing anything wrong. I mean, I'm not out stealing. I'm not out getting into people's heads and trying to make them commit suicide. So that's even worse. That's worse than, I mean, how I'm living. And these other things say, well, why does he just think he can do what he wants? And like, what? And I ain't even doing anything wrong. I'm living based on, I mean, this impression has isolated my life. Whatever it is, I've even heard it, you know? I'll be talking to a girl or talking in any social setting, and these things humiliate me. They'll make me hear something like, don't talk to him, this guy is sick, he's gross, or whatever. And they act like someone deputized them to be a fucking masturbation monitor, like a citation giver on masturbation, or the images that stimulate you while someone that ain't got no fucking like social life, doesn't feel like part of no fucking family or a team or squad, which is what these noises say, what they fucking pressured me and like literally forced me to, like, guilt tripping and just being assholes, shocking my ass or whatever. Say you see this, say you see something, say you see it, you know, and then acting like they fucking own me or something. And I don't know, man. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired of every little action I do. They act like right now, if I'm about to close my eyes and meditate, a noise would say, now I'm gonna close my eyes. And then, but their shit is like, they say some shit like, close my eyes, I'm gonna relinquish. Like, they make it sound like I'm making movements, and after I do that, I'm like just like giving shit away. Like, if there's anything in here, any attribute, it's like as if I'm just, you know. I even heard a noise say that I made him my administrator, and that he has supposedly, it was given permission to do things on or whatever. It's weird, and that's not even true. And all these bee stings, and now I know it's something. I'm not saying this shit to people. Something's saying it in here as if it's me or something. But if I don't understand this shit, you know, it would irk you for something to be doing it in your head as if it's you, or trying to like constantly. I mean, why would these things torture me and force me to fucking use or learn how to do something when I can't really fucking hear to begin with? And that's the torture. I think they know I can't hear, and they just keep doing this shit over and over and over again, like I'm supposed to learn something. I think they want me to learn how to accept being treated like a bitch. And they I mean, if they're using my mouth, if they're like making shit incantations, using my mouth to manipulate other things, and then blame it on me, then it's only obvious that they're trying to show me, oh, do this, you gotta do this and do that, you gotta. No, I don't want to learn shit. And then they go, well, then why are you listening? I thought you couldn't hear. I was like, that's weird how I only hear the shit I guess they want me to hear to react to. And then it seems like someone else is in the midst, and they're trying to prove to this other impression that I'm in cahoots with them, or I've been listening and I've been talking or whatever. Just in those moments, just in the moments that I react. And I don't know what else. So this is why I make these videos. I don't know what else other people go through. I'm just sharing how these, however it seems, these whatever tactics or whatever, maybe other people fucking maybe other people go through it too. And like right now, a noise in my head just said, do you guys accept these things or some shit? And like I heard that noise right now while I was making this video just like a few seconds ago. And then like I normally swallow, and then they said, now I want you to swallow, like right when as if they're using my something or whatever, like I don't know, to do things to other people. Now, if they're trying to teach me how to whatever, and I can't really hear, then this proves that one of these other noises, like a few years ago, I kept saying, leave me alone, you guys sound like you're trying to frame me, like you guys are trying to fucking frame me or something. And they said, oh, we framed him a long time ago, he doesn't know that he's fucked. Or yeah, we trying to, once he learns how to do this with this or whatever, then he could be responsible for all these murders or some shit. And well, I don't know what kind of murders, like spiritual murder or some type of dumb shit. All I know is I think they pretend to be me. They pretend like they learned to do something as if they were me, and they're just like forcing me or just waiting to see what I do, and then they play off of it. Or sometimes they just literally threaten me. They'll give me a heart attack for me to close my mouth and be quiet, and then they'll give me a heart attack for me to open my mouth. And then when I do, they want me to open and close my mouth, because whenever I open and close my mouth, I mean, I can't hear it, but something in the background, in the distance, will say, why is this guy constantly putting us down, or constantly saying that he wants a heart attack, or constantly saying that he wants to give something away and allow some other piece of shit to do things on his or some shit. And it's crazy, because that impression that keeps running around wanting to be me and assume something, he's a dickhead. So I don't know, I guess that's what seem to be going through today, over and over. It just doesn't, they don't give a fuck. I mean, I'll just be fucking thinking. I'll be thinking, and something is constantly verbalizing my thoughts, and like it's having a conversation somewhere. And a lot of stuff I say or react to, that impression or whatever, who they compare me as Danny or whatever, on another layer, or if I close my mouth and kind of breathe a certain way, it's almost as if it changes frequencies. And whatever I was thinking or saying in another format, it's as if someone else who's convinced something to think that they're me, but really they're someone else. They're just regurgitating everything that I'm thinking or saying, creating conversations and having little dialogues and you know, like if they're just chatting with someone, like if they're like if they have a good friend or someone to talk to. And lately, since I've been starting to hear this the last few years, that impression wants to kill me. It wants to heart attack my ass out of the picture, out of my own essence, out of my own life, my own mind or whatever. And I'm such a pussy. I don't know if I can kill myself physically, but I think about it. I think about it because it would end whatever the fuck this other thing is perpetrating. And they probably insinuate that I'm jealous or something, but I never cultivated a rapport like that with any noise. I never have. And so it's fucked up because I'm always talking shit. You know, they'll just irritate me and I just start cussing and yelling at them, and they'll shift my anger to a different impression, to something that doesn't seem like it's an asshole. And and then another noise will say, "You see how he talks to me? You see how he talks to me?" Like something acts like a victim, when on a different tip, they're antagonizing the shit out of me, and just like anything I'm about to do, they start clowning about all these mundane things throughout the day. And they totally ignore my tears, my yelling, the way I feel, the confusion. They totally ignore that. Or actually, no, they wear it. They wait for that, and then they wear it, and I think they pre-record it too. They pre-record these events, and after I'm done venting or pouting or just being angry, after like I calm down and I like smoke a joint or do something and I'm calm, the whole incident where I was crying and yelling and saying, "Stop, leave me alone," that whole thing, once or twice I've heard it in the back of my head, barely, where these impressions are replaying it as if, like if it was me, but they're acting like me, and they're saying that that's them. They're saying that they're pretending to be me, and that is going on at the moment. And they're playing on something, and then they tell something to get me away from here. Get him away from me. He's bothering me. Look how he's making me feel. Or give him a heart attack. Like they'll and that's when my chest starts hurting, and I'm like, what the fuck? Even like music, like a song that I may have sung like a long time ago, where I kind of outdid myself in my own unique way privately. But now these fucking things act like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Just like dumbass shit. It irritates it's irritating. It makes me like want to like just, it's not right. This shit is not, it ain't right. And it's just a trip how they tortured me and fuck with me. I mean, I was clean and sober for 20 years from crystal meth and not really drinking or anything. And like 4 years, or whenever this shit started, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 months into this shit, I was feeling the way I feel now. Like, fuck, I don't even really want to like exist if this shit is gonna be happening. And so I started doing drugs again. And after I started doing drugs, they started splicing in some other noises that I've never heard. Is this how you want to die? Why are you doing? Don't do that. Don't stop doing that. Stop doing that. stop doing drugs. We just want you to be a good person. I'm like, where in the fuck is this coming from? And then that'll cut off, and then these noises will be like, ha, they never heard you. They think they're talking to you, but we're talking to them instead. What are you gonna do about it or whatever? And I'm like, and then right when I say, fuck you, they say, what do you want to say to Amber? What do you want to say to Janine? What do you want to say to Danny? What do you want to say to Frank? What do you want to say to Richard? What do you want to say to Sonia? Like these impressions that, like literally, so that there tells me that when I get mad and angry, whoever it is that's antagonizing me is creating their own alibi to make it look like I'm bothering them, like I'm fucking with their head, or I'm just being a dickhead, or the other one I heard was when I was yelling and screaming and then it was just quiet, like they didn't give a fuck. A noise out of nowhere said, he just wants a raise. He must want a raise. Or another one that I heard a long time ago was, oh, he's just mad because we've been talking to him all his life. We've been in his life, and now he's just mad because we've banned him and shunned him for doing something, and he's just mad. Don't listen to him, type of shit. And that would drive me crazy too, because for not hearing anything throughout my life and then being tortured as if I'm someone else, and then hearing that, it makes me wonder, like, fuck, what did I miss out on? And if I was lonely and not knowing it and still just getting along with myself, I mean, this would make you feel it would make me feel even more lonelier, because I'm used to talking to myself. I'm used to thinking things over and asking myself questions, talking within myself. And they try to block that every time. I'll just be talking or thinking within myself, who are you talking to? Who are you saying that to? Or whatever. And then I snap, I'm like, man, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my head. Who are you saying? Who are you talking to? Who did you say that to? Or who are you, like, just, I don't know, man. It's fucking fucked up. And it's kind of a boggle, I guess, when I think too much into it, when the image of whatever it is that seems to be happening, when I just like kind of look at it, it's fucked up. It is. So I guess I don't agree with that image, and I'm okay with myself, and I'm gonna keep on chugging along, knowing that my social life sucks because of these impressions, knowing that they caused it, and whenever they try to clown me for little compulsive behavior that I engage in, because of the unconscious or constriction that I was unaware of that causes these behaviors, I don't know. They want to clown and attack those behaviors and don't give a fuck about what they may have caused to fucking for things not to even pan out, like just having a decent social life or something. Or if I do get along with someone or whatever, it makes me wonder if they're in cahoots with the other impression that they're fucking with my head, and that, you know, maybe they say, he ain't shit, man, or something, and the people lighten up and just talk with me, but they have a smirk, like not taking me all serious. Like, it's weird. It's a trip, man. And then or they'll say some shit like I've called the police, or like want to take my laptop to the FBI because I found a bunch of I've never checked it for years. I just one day I just decided to check, And there's hella of these files and stuff that people talk about on the internet about the virtual remote monitoring or virtual stuff. There's a lot of files, like stuff in there, and there's even like advertisement stuff and stuff about web hosting. And I don't know if something did something to my laptop, and because these impressions said, oh, we framed him a long time ago. So I don't know if there's something in my laptop that seems like I'm like I created some sort of thing, like they talk about broadcasting through your brain or whatever, through your consciousness. Just in case, I was getting ready to take that or whatever, and these things, they think they're fucking funny. No, don't do that, don't do that. Okay, no, okay, don't take your laptop to over there, and we'll let you jack off, okay? We'll let you jack, like if they fucking own me or something, like they're overseeing everything I do, like watching me, like I'm. And now I think why they would be watching me, because there's another noise in here talking, like if I'm in cahoots with it. There's another fucking noise in here just regurgitating and probably reacting to me while I'm just unaware. And I don't know. I'm a decent person. I have like good intentions, and not a violent person. I feel like I'm thoughtful, conscientious, and think a lot, a thinker, an analyzer, for the sake of myself and whoever else in any situation or whatever, I guess. I don't know. Well, these things just, they piss me off to the point where I'm in a rage, and then another noise will chime in and say, well, hey, you didn't know that you could do this to them, say this to that person, or do this, and they'll stop or whatever. And I'm like, no, but like once or twice out of desperation, I reacted, and I just in a rage just said some shit about, curse, like to curse that, those actions, cursing the actions from that impression. And then they always make me think of these people that from my past over and over and over. As a matter of fact, that's what made me make this video. They always make me think of these people, and then while I'm thinking of those people, something will say, something will say, yeah, to prove who I am, I'm gonna think about myself. And they say it simultaneously, while some noise says, a noise will say, why are you thinking about Janine? Why are you thinking about Amber? Why are you thinking about, or they'll just say literally, they'll say, okay, and they'll make sure I hear it. They'll say, now I'm thinking about this person, right? They'll say that, and it'll be someone I know. And then my brain will think of their face. And then another noise will say, see, I told you, this is me. I'm thinking of my, or whatever, though. Or another, just all kinds of dumb shit. They'll, but it's stuff that I don't hear in the background just lately. It's probably too late to fucking, like, hear this shit now. Maybe they do it on purpose, because I'm assuming this shit must have been happening for a long time, and something must have like already established, and I don't know, I like to where I'm probably the bad person, and whatever it is in here trying to be my consciousness must have had another noise, must have had this other noise talking that I can't hear, creating agreements and verbal, telepathical, subliminal contracts with another noise. And because these things just take off, they take off on these tangents, they like as if I'm down with it, or like, if, well, we thought you said you agreed, and this is stuff I heard that I probably wasn't supposed to hear, because it was so distant. It must have been really quiet, and I could hear it in the background. And they said that shit. Well, you agreed to this. This is you made this decision. Oh, this was something you wanted to do, remember? Or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no. And then they're like, from now on, whenever he says hell no, it's gonna mean 7-Eleven or some vulgar shit, some dumb shit that sounds like I'm clowning somebody or something. I don't know. Anyways, it just sucks to have this whatever, this organ in our head that thinks a lot and has so much potential to arrange a healthy life or a healthy way of living, or just to be at peace with yourself or whatever, and for some noise, some dissonance to come in here and just cause all kinds of irritation, like irritation. And it's kind of sad, but then again, before these noises, I had already came to a conclusion that because it's similar to how I felt before these noises. I'm realizing that the same conclusion I'm coming to is, even without hearing these noises in the past, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Well, no, it's been 4 or 5 years now with the noises, or the distant, sporadic stuff, or maybe able to hear it if I wanted to be nosy, but it's abnormal. It's weird. It's weird. And so in the past, I've pondered and analyzed like the condition of this world, and just pondering like the doctors that cured cancer in the 60s, how they were found dead with 2 bullets in the back of their head, and the media ruled it a suicide. Or thinking about that, and then watching these commercials with St. Jude's Hospital, all these filled with little young children with cancer, and the commercial asking for donations and asking for support and to find a cure or something, and or the vaccines, the fluoride, the chemtrails, eugenics, quackademia dumbing us down, or just all those things, or just the fact that there's so much other shit that's gone on this earth besides the 2,000-year glossary on our history. All these things that I reflect on that are like, oh, wow. And then I look at the condition of the society, the system, the culture, and I came to a conclusion like fuck, this is unfair, this is fucked up. Something in power or something must just be in control and just doesn't give a fuck. It's almost as if it's a real stern or whatever, I don't know, like self-made administrator of humanity that wants to send you in your room. Get in your room and don't question me. Do as I say, not as I do, or some type of shit. Or I don't know. So I was already sad and kind of tripped out about that. And so now with these noises trying to make you feel helpless and hopeless, and, I'm thinking the same thing. Like right now, this impression that thinks it's me, that pretends to be me, like right now I'm feeling like a jittery chill through my body, and it's that impression acting like me. It's asking some jinn or something to defend itself. It's pretending to be me, and it wants it to hurt me in my body, because I shit you all not, 1 year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they were getting me to react and telling me that there's something in me or whatever, and some shit. And they were antagonizing me to the point where they were just fucking with my body. They were hurt. They were messing with me. And I just kept saying to stop, and they wouldn't stop. And so I just said, for something to defend itself, whatever it is that may be in here, and I literally burned up inside. My body tensed up like I was dying. It was painful. It felt like rigor mortis. It felt like rigor mortis was happening in fast forward, super fast forward, like my hands, like everything was just starting to curl up like this. Like it just felt like a burning, electrifying 220 volt rigor mortis. Like just, I was gonna flatline. And even that phrase that I said, these impressions that keep fucking with me, they change it. Just like everything else I say, they reformat it and change it to where if I was to say it again, it'll come out different, like saying something different, like I'm some stranger. But in the background, I always hear that other impression saying that shit that I said. And it keeps pretending to be me. It keeps tricking my brain, like wanting to be my consciousness and kick my own awareness out. And I'll hear it every once in a while. I'll hear that fucker keep saying, or whatever. It'll say that same phrase that I said. And like it's slowly trying to trick something into thinking it's me or something. I don't know. And I'll feel like light tingly, like what the fuck? And then that's when I'll hear that fucker say, you know, and it's kind of trippy. It's a trip. It's a fucking trip. And so yeah, that's another something else that went on that trips me out. It trips me out. So, well, that's the tactic behind these either whatever gang stalkers or targeting gaslighters. I guess every gaslighter or gang stalker has like their own flavor, has their own twist on how they fuck with people. So yeah, that's what's going on. Every little movement I make, like right now as I'm talking, a noise just said right now, did I realize that this whole time I've been talking to Sonia? And Sonia is the name of my daughter. And this impression acts like me and pretends like it's talking to her, and it pisses me off when I hear it. And then they act like they're teaming up, like they're a team, and they attack me because supposedly I'm someone named Danny or someone else. I'm supposed to be someone else, and if I want to be understood, or if I want to talk, or if I want to whatever, which I don't, I fucking sure the fuck don't. Oh, you need to close your mouth or some dumb shit. And when my mouth is naturally closed like this or something will say, oh, now that you did that, you'll never ever open it again. You're gonna fucking never, or some dumb shit like that. And which is impossible. It's impossible because it's, but every time though, I think it's just an attempt by something else to like shroud me and it just keeps tricking it seems like it's trying to trick something that I don't exist, or I'm not around, or I'm not, or whatever. And a lot of the times when there's a open your mouth, close your mouth, or whatever. Like if it seems like it has something to do with me, it doesn't. It's like two other names, two other things, communicating through my head based on my thoughts. It's a trip. Oh, a noise just said, oh, like if it was a two-way radio, a noise just said that, because I think I made a video where I said that. It's weird, like right now while I'm making this video, something thinks whatever it is I'm saying in this video, they think I'm talking to them. And every once in a while, a reaction will come, but it's not to me. I think there's another noise that probably reacting back to it or something. And that's where the boggle comes, because this can happen all like throughout the day, and I'm constantly reacting, thinking it's meant like something is actually tuning in, and but still doesn't give a fuck, just wants to fuck with my head, but is like hitting on little things I'm thinking about. And then at the end of the day, they were really talking to the real Sammy Velez, which is some other fucking impression somewhere back here, that where they were just talking past me, you know, like at the end of the day, and then I end up being some fucking pedophile or someone that has done a lot of bad shit to people or something. Go figure.